Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Movies Are Real for the month of July. It is throwing me off because we're actually ahead of the game for once here on this fine podcast product. I am here with Ryan Lance.
It's me, professional.
Yeah. With shorts as usual.
Shorts as usual.
Yeah.
But you'll notice there's also a flannel and some glasses.
Yes,
George.
Exactly.
Finally.
The whole look.
Right.
For you audio listeners.
Yes. Carrie, how are you doing?
Less professional, but I'll try and hold my own here with the movie gamer pros.
Movie Gamer Pros, and I'm, of course, George.
That's what we should have named the podcast.
That is what we should
Delete everything.
We're here to discuss the movies of the month prior, one we're looking forward to the next month. July is the
2019.
July 2019, not July 2014. We're not talking
Definitely not July 20.
No, not July 2003. We're not talking about
iRobot
iRobot.
is not coming out.
No.
It is out, and we have seen it.
Shia LaBeouf, please be excited. No, July. We're in the middle of summer. It's kind of been, I guess one of the biggest Disney releases of the summer came out, and I just think everyone just feels apathetic about it. But we'll get to it. But before we do that, speaking of fine Disney properties, which could be anything really, we could be talking. Disney owns iRobot now, huh? I just thought about that.
Was iRobot a Fox thing?
Yeah, it was a Fox thing, so they own iRobot.
Well, they got their money's worth, clearly.
Spider-Man: Far From Home. They made another Spider-Man movie, a sequel to Homecoming. Yeah. So, Ryan, it turns out you're the only person here who saw this motion picture.
Yes, I am the resident Spider-Man fanatic because I look just like Peter Parker. And
Is that why you wore that today?
No, I'm just sad.
A heavy cross to bear.
A heavy cross. I know. I did it for all of you. I watched Spider-Man: Far From Home because I know that's what people wanted me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone has seen Homecoming or a little movie that came out called Avengers Endgame, which people were very excited that became the highest grossing film of all time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, thank God the Disney movie made more than the Disney movie.
Yeah, thank God.
We really defeated them, guys. We really took down James Cameron.
I saw a tweet that was like, the blues always held on a beat, or no, the greens always held on a beat, the blues always held on a
so yeah, shout out to Zoe Saldana, I guess. She probably isn't getting paid as much as she should be, but probably not. So yeah, Spider-Man, Tom Holland's back. Jake Gyllenhaal has joined the crew. Ooh. Zendaya is here, so I'm excited to hear like how she ODs in this episode of Spider-Man.
So yeah, the general gist is pretty much it takes place straight after Avengers Endgame.
Everyone's all sad about Iron Man.
Everyone's all sad. Oh my God, everyone.
Like 40 seconds.
I'm gonna get it. Okay, so everyone doesn't know.
Spoilers for Endgame.
I deeply hate Iron Man in the Marvel series of films.
Mm-hmm.
It began like, okay, this guy's fun. But then the more movies they went on, like, they can't progress his character. It's just
he's just still really the same guy. So he's still
the same, like, obnoxious jackass.
And even, like, the stuff that, like, happens in his life that you would think changes him, he's still, like...
Yeah.
I guess, there's, like, the base personality is still the smarmy, like, fun jokester
And,
guy.
like, I've always been the word one because I feel like he peaked in, like, Iron Man 3. And people hate that movie.
And I would have thought that after Iron Man 3, his, like... character would have changed. It would have been less aggressive.
But no, in Age of Ultron, he's the exact same person.
To be fair, that movie wasn't great, but yeah.
It's true. That movie is one of the worst ones of the Marvel films. But he stays the same, and spoiler alert for Endgame, I guess, he died, and everyone is so sad. And in Spider-Man: Far From Home, everyone won't shut up about how sad they are that Iron Man is gone. Everyone is...
But also, Tony Stark, the most important, like, father figure in Peter Parker's life in this universe.
Oh, of course.
So, also that. And he's dead now. So.
And he's dead. Really, the thing that will drive him to be a better hero.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing else has, and nothing else will. But, whatever.
Uh-huh.
A side note to that, I was reading an article that was like, Uncle Ben is referenced in Far From Home, and I was like, what? And there's a scene where Peter packs his suitcase for London, and the briefcase has like the initials BP for Ben Parker. And they're like, he was in the movie. Ben, he died in the movie. Everything comes together. And it's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean any, but whatever. He's died. Peter is having this pressure on him to be the next Iron Man. It's very difficult for him. And then he eventually decides that he, just wants to go on this vacation with his friends, with Zendaya, wants to tell Zendaya how much he loves her, which, a feeling that I feel inside my heart as well.
Zendaya, who is Mary Jane in this series.
She's MJ. She's not Mary Jane.
It's just MJ.
She's
correct.
Michelle, but she goes by MJ because they can't make Mary Jane black. Instead, they just call her Michelle. And at the very end of Homecoming, they give her the nickname MJ, and it's all cool.
They never mention... Okay. Cool.
No, they never mention that her name's Michelle. They just call her MJ the whole movie. It's weird, and I don't get why they didn't just make her Mary Jane. It's like they're like they're backpedaling, but whatever. It's a great movie, It's a great, fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, he gets to London, and there's these creatures called the Elementals. One's fire, earth, wind, and water, and they're attacking everything. And Jake Gyllenhaal is Mysterio, a hero from another dimension who has come to Earth because his dimension was destroyed by the Elementals, and he wants to save Peter's Earth from the Elementals. And Nick Fury has to get Peter and Mysterio to work together to defeat the Elementals, all while he has to pretend to be on the trip, or else his friends will possibly suspect that he's Spider-Man, because God forbid.
Doesn't his best friend already know he's Spider-Man?
Yeah, but he doesn't want MJ to know, and there's a bunch of other kids on the trip.
Okay.
Including J.B. Smooths, who is great and is underused in the movie, but whatever.
You would have thought that the most important father figure in his life, Tony Stark, would have taught him that it doesn't matter. You can just tell everyone, I'm Spider-Man. But, yeah whatever.
Well, anyways.
With great power comes great responsibility. I think Iron Man said that.
God damn it. But yeah, as you joke, but that is essentially what this movie is. It generally is, him dealing with Tony Stark's death. And the MacGuffin of the movie is... Nick Fury goes to Peter, and he's like, hey, Tony Stark left you these. And he gives him the glasses that Tony Stark wears. And these glasses have this AI in them that control these satellites that basically have control over the entire world. He can look at them and see what's on everyone's phone. He can use them to summon missiles. They're basically this ultimate thing that he gives a 16-year-old boy.
Why did Tony Stark have
Yeah, let's say.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he peddled in weapons of mass destruction, and he sold them to everyone else. But
in Civil War, he decided to...
Oh, right.
To give, the government of the world total control of what he does. So it doesn't make any sense why he would have this weapon. And why he would give them to a 16-year-old boy. But whatever, it's a great fun movie that makes so much sense. I will say this, Jake Gyllenhaal, like with everything, is fantastic.
That's the one thing I've heard about this movie.
Because he is great. The one flaw is, spoiler, the guy whose name is Mysterio and played by Jake Gyllenhaal ends up being a bad guy.
Wow.
And he has a monologue where he reveals his plan. And it goes on for a lot longer. And, it's entertaining at first. It's oh, okay. But then it keeps going. It's It literally is you're watching a children's TV show. It's I am the villain and I will tell you, the audience, my whole scheme. Even though... Because he's telling the scheme to, his henchmen. So it doesn't make sense why he's explaining the scheme to them they already know.
It's day one at the...
Yeah, exactly.
He just hired them.
It's very weird. But yeah, then Peter has to, take on Mysterio. And I will say the Mysterio combat stuff is fun because his whole thing is illusions and mystery. And Peter has to basically learn to use his spider sense to, stop him. Mm-hmm. That's all fun. I will say, though, this is the exact same movie as Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh.
It is the exact same movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's motives are because he hates Tony Stark, much like how Michael Keaton's motives are because he hates Tony Stark.
Right.
And then Peter has to deal with a guy that Tony Stark fucked over.
Oh, same.
Again. Which is interesting because, people's criticism of the other Spider-Man movies is that they're all basically the same plot. But this has the same plot as the last Spider-Man movie. Again, whatever. This movie is fine without getting into... if you're a big Spider-Man fan, it's fine. It does a lot more of ignoring a lot of Spider-Man, integral things that I like about him. And in trying to do something new and interesting, but it's not really new or interesting. It just feels like because Marvel's able to use Spider-Man in their movies now, but it feels like they're only able to use Spider-Man. It feels like they're not able to do anything else with his like big cast of characters. They're just able to make a Spider-Man movie with just Spider-Man. And it's very weird and awkward.
Well, this is
strange.
Isn't this actually technically a Sony project though?
It is technically a Sony project.
Okay, right.
But it's still weird that they're not able to.
But Marvel still has to sign off on it.
Yeah,
I guess, right?
basically Marvel makes it, and Sony just
pretends
like they.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very strange. I will say, I think Carrie, you know how the end credit sequence. It has a cameo that is very, very good, but the result of that cameo leads into one of my least favorite Spider-Man arcs in the comics, and it's super uninteresting. And the end credit scene basically solves a glaring plot hole in a way that's kind of stupid. And I don't want to spoil that, but it's frustrating and annoying, and it's like, this is a generic ass movie.
Okay.
And
is this movie worth $5 for me watching it?
$5? I would say $5. I would say $5.
Every time I'm like, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday on Tuesday.
You know what, Spider-Man? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it.
How much Zendaya's in this? Zendaya wasn't in it a lot.
Zendaya is in this a lot more.
Okay,
she
that's
obviously
good.
doesn't do anything because she's a woman in a Marvel movie.
Does she have any more female t-shirts?
Does
she have a Virginia Woolf t-shirt at one point or something?
She probably does.
That'd be great.
She does a lot more of her like just calling people out of her wokeness. And it's very fun. But yeah, she's great. Jake Gyllenhaal's great. Tom Holland is a weird mixed bag of.
He just seems like a weird guy in general, though.
Yeah,
seems like an awkward guy.
Yeah, but yeah, Spider-Man: Far From Home, bad title, not a great movie.
I hear this movie did very well.
It made $1 billion.
Jesus Christ!
It is the most profitable Spider-Man movie of all time.
Woo! Whoa, right? Shit! Okay, fuck me.
All you did was Jake Gyllenhaal, baby.
Oh man.
Or have a giant Marvel movie come out
after.
2 months
yeah.
2 months
I will say that this is the first Marvel movie I've skipped in a very long time, and I feel really happy about it.
I think the thing, well, maybe not because this movie's doing well, but I feel like the thing is going to happen that we reached such like the thing we've been building for years and years, like it happened already. Mm-hmm. So it's like now it just kind of feels like I'm excited for Blade. Like we don't talk about news a lot, but the fact that we're making Blade with the guy from Moonlight and the guy from it's fucking
that's very good.
So excited.
Thankfully, though, there's a big gap. Like the next Marvel movie isn't until next May, and that's a Black Widow movie, which I feel like everyone can skip. Let's be real here. Because if a Black Widow movie came like 3 years ago, I feel like people would have been excited.
Yeah,
but now it's
4.
like,
doing this.
Didn't she die?
Yeah,
like really die?
Yeah.
It's got Hellboy in it though.
Yeah, but he just plays a guy though. Like
New Hellboy or
New Hellboy.
Oh.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name. I know Ron Perlman's name.
David Harbour.
David Harbour.
Yeah. Oh, the Stranger Things guy?
Yeah.
He was Hellboy. He was Hellboy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That movie did not do good.
I want to watch it.
I like Stranger Things.
I also like Stranger Things.
I still haven't watched 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I think you would like them, especially 3.
3 is very good.
I haven't even finished the new season of Queer Eye yet. I'm so sorry.
Our studio
audience is very upset about this.
It's fine.
Let's talk about I'm interested to see like everyone's takes on.
Yeah, so I think the next movie on our list is Midsommar, and this is probably, apart from It Chapter 2, this is probably our most highly anticipated movie of the year
as a collective.
Or maybe even you, Carrie, because like.
I mean, well, for me, because I loved Hereditary so much, so I was very excited about this.
And certainly the marketing was like a lot of people liked Hereditary.
Yeah.
And Hereditary was very good.
Yeah.
This is the next movie by the director. But yeah, this is I guess if you're not familiar with Midsommar, it is a movie starring Florence Pugh, who I know her from the wrestling movie earlier this year.
Right.
She's also in the Black Widow movie.
Yeah, she is. I saw that. That was interesting.
She's probably a girl Black Widow.
She's probably like, well, I don't know. Is it like, do they train? Because they like train them, right?
I don't care.
Yeah. There's that one flashback and
in the worst Marvel movie.
Right.
That was awful.
Yeah, that was bad, actually. I remember that now. Anyways, speaking about... Okay, so Midsommar. Movie where pretty much girlfriend and boyfriend not doing great, and he wasn't listening to her at all. I was like, let's go to this fucking trip at this fucking isolated little camp thing. In Sweden. It's going to be a good time.
We're both white. We'll both end up
doing
fine.
They're having this one crazy festival they have like every other... And yeah, very cultish. The worst case scenario, I guess, happens.
Well, for them.
For them.
People there, it's just an average Tuesday.
Sure.
Just another year.
Yeah.
I was confused. Like, they have it every year, but it's like every 9 years it's special,
I saw a thing where he clarified that the final ceremony is with the pyramid is the thing that happens every 90 years, but everything else happens every year.
Nice.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Hello, studio audience.
So, like, it only happens every 90 years, right?
Yeah.
But when he's talking to the girlfriend, I don't know her name.
Do you want to just come up and walk up to the microphone?
Yes.
Studio audience.
Man, what's his name? I don't know. He's talking to the
not much
girl
closer.
whose parents died. Spoilers. And he's like, "Oh, I lost my parents too. They burned up in a fire." But that only happens every 90 years. That doesn't make any sense. Unless they're all like.
It could have been an unrelated fire.
Really old.
Anyways, we will get to that. So yeah, Midsommar. I think when you explain it, if I wrote it down in a piece of paper, and I think even the pitch itself. It's not the most, like, I don't, this is gonna sound very reductive. I would say it doesn't sound like the most creative or most, like, out there, like, concept. It's like,
no.
It's a cult movie.
Yeah.
But it is, like, we'll see how we all feel, because I don't know, it's been a minute since we've seen it. Yeah, I guess I'll just go. It's fine. That's how I feel. I think, the things that it does well, it does very well. Everything that, with the hallucination... I think the actual cult dynamics weren't really fleshed out for me that much, and it just felt like... I think a good cult movie allows you to get an insight on why the people here behave the way they do, and I think a not-so-great cult movie, or at least I don't like feeling like I am just these guys, and this people just seem... Okay, listen, cult people can sometimes be crazy, but I like to at least kind of maybe understand that they don't seem like complete wackos bad guys.
Yeah, like there's a reason why
There's a reason why.
Besides just tradition.
Besides just tradition. Yeah, exactly. We just do it. I don't fucking know. And that's the sort of stuff that was missing for me for this movie. I never felt like really, I don't know the word for it. I guess committed to the storyline. I don't know. I didn't feel immersed in what was happening moment to moment in the way I did with Hereditary.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that way too.
I just felt like outside of it, and it never really connected with me. I would say in the same way Hereditary did, but in the same way, like, even something like fucking Annabelle 3. Like, I just never made a connection with this movie. I was always just kind of waiting for it to, like, really, really grab me. And it never did. But there are good moments. There are moments where, like I mentioned, with the hallucination stuff. Looks really good. There are just some funny moments when that guy fucking pissed on the log. That was funny. But overall, it's hard to say it is disappointing because I had high expectations only built because the last thing that Aster Ari made last time was so good. But it's also hard, like, when your first fucking single is like a 10 out of 10 and you gotta follow that up pretty immediately.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I think the movie's fine, but it's hard not to walk out with a feeling of a little disappointment. Yeah, no, Ryan, how do you feel?
I think Hereditary is definitely more focused.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's probably where the problem lies.
It also has, no offense to Florence Pugh, but Toni Collette really just fucking takes that movie.
That's
just runs all the way to yeah.
But yeah, like, because Toni Collette's like the main character in like the first like half of that movie. Then it moves more into
Peter.
Which Wolf brother is it again?
Alex
Wolf, the good Wolf brother. Which is again a weird statement to say. And that it was a natural and like you follow like one person. But in this one, like Florence Pugh, like she was the main character and her boyfriend kind of. But then we'd like go off to like the other people.
And they're not fleshed out at all. They're really just kills.
Like the guy who pissed on the log, he's just like, what the fuck? I just want some pussy.
Yeah.
Poulter was pretty funny.
There was the nerdy guy who was like very invested in on this.
Josh.
Was that his name?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
He was interesting. I liked him, but he never really did anything. I think just because he like asked the questions about things.
Yeah. And
he was like the one who you'd get an insight while everyone else was like, "What the fuck is this?" The boyfriend was boring. I hated him.
He's a douche.
Yeah.
And then there was their friend who was a member of the cult.
Pele.
Yeah, and I never got a grasp of who he was.
Because he would, for me, that would have been the key guy to make that connection, to make me understand just a little bit why this cult is doing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Because we spend so much time building this character and letting us know that he is a human, reasonable person.
Yes.
But once we start getting to shit going off the rails, he becomes distant. He becomes a background character. We don't hear from him again. Mm-hmm. And that is very strange because he could have been the guy that maybe weaves this together for me. Anyways, that's a side. I don't know if you were done with your general feelings.
I was just like listing
think
of the characters. And also he had the brother who had the other two like outsiders and they were just, just panic people who were just like, what the hell? And
they were like the rational people.
That's true.
The cult. They were
you very much needed them. Yeah. You need the first people to be like, yo, I need to fucking go.
But then it's like when like, because they were obviously going to be the first people to like disappear mysteriously. Spoiler, I guess. But it's really obvious, what happened to them. Because like, why'd my boyfriend leave? I don't know.
He just fucking left.
He said, I'm dipping, bro. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm from Sweden. He's gone, but like, car's coming back for you. So just like, chillax, man. Drink some more tea. And there's nothing in the tea. Definitely not pubes.
Carrie, how did you feel about this one?
You've seen it twice.
Yeah, I did see it twice. I wanted to love it a lot more than I did. And I think I liked it a little more the second time that I saw it, just because I got more of an appreciation for Florence Pugh's character and what she goes through. Because my favorite part of this movie is like the first 10 minutes. Because I think that it really
I think that's the one where it does the most narrative work for me.
Well, it feels like the most hard-hitting, powerful stuff happens in the first 10 minutes. A lot
like the beginning of Hereditary.
Yeah.
I agree.
And like the part specifically where he answers the second phone call from her and she's just screaming.
That's done very well.
I was like, oof.
That was done very well.
So I was like, okay, now I'm ready. This movie's gonna fuck me up. It's gonna be great. And then it just never reached that same level again for me personally. True. And the camera work in the movie is fucking great. Like, overall, the technical stuff, like, the sound design is incredible. And it looks incredible.
It looks beautiful.
But, I don't know, it just feels hollow for me. Yeah. But I feel like that also might be what he was going for, almost.
Maybe.
Because, like, Pele says to expect a lot of, like, pageantry and stuff. But, I don't know. I wanted to love it more, and there's parts of it that I really, really, really like, but there's also parts of it that just didn't really... I couldn't, like you said, I could never feel too connected to this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked the part where she was, like, how Danny, that's her name, she spends the whole movie, like, walking away to cry and, like, not showing anyone what she's going through or telling herself to just stop crying, that everything's fine. And then at the end, she gets that catharsis moment where she's just, like, screaming with everyone. And there's this, like, hive mind throughout the cult where they feel each other's pain. I really liked that part. But...
yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But I think it's... like it's hard that a lot of the technical stuff is done so well, but a lot of the character and story stuff, I forgot how good that opening was. The way that second phone call thing is, like, it is done so well. It is the closest thing we got here to the car ride home from the party in Hereditary.
It really sucks comparing this to Hereditary.
Yeah, it sucks. Again, it's like,
because I don't want to do that, but like,
it's not completely unfair.
It is not unfair
because
a
lot of the same beats.
Yeah,
because
it feels like another movie from him.
That beginning scene feels a lot like that big first moment in Hereditary, except it's immediate. Mm-hmm. It happens in the first 10 minutes, so you feel like, oh, this is going to go places like faster than Hereditary did. But it didn't. It just
got more distant than these characters.
It got slower, and then once stuff started happening, there was like a lot of breaks in between. And like the stuff that happened, like it felt just more gory than like scary to me. Yeah. Like I reacted to it obviously because I did not like what I saw. It was disgusting. But that's not really what I look for. Like it didn't like scare me the way like Hereditary did. Because Hereditary, like, you know, even like you could look in the background and there's like shit happening. You know, this one that was the case. Like, I remember one thing that, like, got me a little bit is, like, when she's tripping out and, like, the trees turned into, like, a face.
Yeah.
And I know I've told you that, George, but...
You told me that.
You did not notice that.
Yeah, you told me that.
But I didn't notice anything else like that. Like, anything, like, looming in the distance.
And it's tough because I also expected the just punch you in the face gore from a cult movie. I expect that. But, yeah, I don't know. Nothing... It's... Like, some of the set design was also good. Like, that one room with the patterns when she tells him that fucking whatever the hell wants to have sex with you.
Oh, yeah. The black and white room.
Yeah, black and white room. That looks great. Yeah, I think that one sex scene, the scene where they're trying to impregnate her, like, there is a...
I don't know what it was trying to do.
It was
awkward, but
it was like
funny.
It was like
so funny.
It was like if Suspiria was a rapper, right? And they made a diss track. And then someone tried to respond to the diss track and failed miserably. That's what that would have been. That's what that would have been. Because, like, I felt that energy. I was like, it's missing something. Yeah. It's not...
I don't know. Was that scene... I've been getting in an argument with our friend Greg about this recently, because he didn't see this with me, and he hated it. And, was that scene supposed to be funny, or was it supposed to be unnerving?
Right, it's hard,
Because I feel like it was so fucking
and
ridiculous.
Everyone laughed.
It's so crazy that there is no way in my mind that the guy who made Hereditary makes that and is like, oh yeah,
that's gonna be fucking funny.
It's so clearly, to me anyway, I feel like it's supposed to be funny.
I think it speaks...
I think it's just supposed to be like off-putting.
But I think
that's all I think
it speaks to how unconnected and invested we were to what was going on. Because again, when you think of the scenes in Suspiria, on paper, it's fucking ridiculous nonsense. But by that point, you are so committed, and it also helps the way it's done is just fucking beautiful and gorgeous. And I think when you're not when you get that like what's that fucking Ed Wood fucking saying? That suspension of disbelief. When that suspension of disbelief is broken, it just feels ridiculous. Like, what the fuck am I watching? This is the stupidest. That fucking raccoon is talking with that fucking tree. This is dumb bullshit. And I think maybe that's why it was so funny. At least it is because.
Well, because there's a lot more comedy throughout the movie.
Yeah, there's deliberate,
with Will Poulter.
Yeah.
So I guess it was setting you up to feel that, but I don't know.
It is hard,
because like it was leading up to that moment. Because she was like putting her pubes in like his food. Yeah. She put a love stone.
I did love that shot where it was the table and everyone had their lemonades and his was like 3 shades darker. And I was like, oh.
Like. I love the build. Like, okay, I felt like she was gonna do something to him. Like maybe like then it'd get the cult to be like a spiritual kind of thing. Like he like gets put under like a spell kind of thing. But like maybe he did. Like maybe if I walked into that room,
as far as
I would be, something would take over. Be like, I gotta fuck now.
As far
as
ceremony,
but I didn't feel that. It just felt like he was like.
As far as cultish ceremonial like impregnations,
I feel like I've seen better.
Yeah, it was just like a clean room. I don't know, but you're totally right, Carrie, because everyone started laughing from that scene. Just it's so ridiculous, and there is definitely a way to do that, and it's just like silence, and you're not laughing, you're not like but you're just like unsettled.
But I mean, if he was going for funny,
then they worked.
Fucking nailed it.
He killed it.
Like, I
don't know what he was going for. That part was that old lady was like, "Get in there, asshole! You fucking dick her down. Goddamn, balls deep." Yeah, I don't know. It's.
Oh my god, and then she starts doing the fucking Big Lebowski ass. Julianne Moore rolled around on the bed.
Yeah, I guess this is...
we spent most of that discussion talking about the sex scene. Although, to be fair, what do you really talk about in this movie?
I don't know. I was gonna look into this more, but I never did because I'm terrible. But Aster went on record saying how he based this story around a breakup that he went through. So I'm just wondering who he sees himself as in this movie. Right. So I'm like...
And worried?
Yeah, I'm also worried.
Because, yeah, that stuff is the most interesting, but it's also... It's interesting when you see it in the grand picture that this really is a story about a relationship that it just isn't working, and we're not... Like none of us are... He
has called this...
Letting go.
A breakup movie.
Yeah.
Like it's just a
We refuse to, like, fucking let go, and,
I don't know.
And the fact that it hurts because... Like, the part where she notices that he's having sex, it's not it's disappointing, one, because it is a betrayal, but also it's like, we fucking know that this is happening. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is just the moment of just like, what the fuck am I doing?
You're not really surprised because the movie begins with be like, oh, my girlfriend
fucking
sucks. Hey, now she's always sad.
And she clearly feels like, I don't
And then, you know, that thing happens to her and then he feels like obligated to stay with her. Which, that's... If you're in that situation with someone like, hey, I know this isn't going to go much further, and that thing happens, that's a weird situation.
And it says something to the movie, like I said, like, it's only after you step back and look at it that, oh, okay, I get it. But that doesn't make the movie good in retrospect. Yeah. It's only like, I can see what you were going for, but I don't know. Anyways, Midsommar, it's fine. I think we're only being so critical.
Some would say it's... mid-bummer, mid-tier, it's fine.
That was good, Ryan.
I don't know. I feel like this is... Because I've seen people, like, really dig this. Too.
Yeah.
I've also seen people really dig this.
Really hate this.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that we're in the middle.
Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, but I've seen people who didn't like Hereditary, loved this one. I don't know. Huh. Anyways.
Let's talk about a real movie.
A real horror movie.
See you later. Crawl.
I'd like to begin with an anecdote.
This movie is like an 80% on Rotten fucking Tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
People fucking love this movie.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
The 6 people who saw the movie, who were the people exclusively in our theater, love this movie.
Man. So the director of The Hills Have Eyes and Piranha is back with another aquatic horror adventure. But about family.
It's about family.
I'll tell you what.
Was Piranha not about family?
No, Piranha knew exactly what it was, and this one was like, it kind of knew it was a lot more serious.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you what. If you're making,
I couldn't take this movie seriously.
But that was the weird thing. Piranha's like, this is dumb garbage nonsense, and he knows it. But this
movie is like, what's going on? Ah!
And I'm sorry, you're saying this is a bad movie.
Yeah, then it'd be like, I gotta Simba dead.
I cannot.
Simba dead.
Like from the get-go, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? She's a swimmer. Are you goddamn? Oh my god! And he was there at every swim meet.
So yeah,
this is Crawl. It's a movie about alligators. A hurricane in Florida.
Her dad is trapped in the basement. He got injured.
Yes.
I forget why. He just got injured fixing a pipe or whatever.
Well, the alligator actually attacked him.
Didn't he get? Yeah,
he got attacked.
Oh, what attack?
He's like,
okay.
Yeah, because he wakes up and he's like, watch out, there's a big gator over there.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Duh, Dad, I know.
So her and her dog, his dog, family dog, gotta survive.
Yeah. Thankfully the dog's upstairs, not in trouble at all.
And the weird thing about this movie is like, I see the high reviews. I haven't read any reviews, I guess. Maybe I should read the reviews. But it's like, it's just the pitch delivered to you. It's like when I go to a fast food restaurant and I order the double cheeseburger, I expect the double cheeseburger. And guess what? They gave me a double cheeseburger. And I walked out, I was like, cool. Great ending. Great stinger. Great punchline to end it on. But, yeah, no, what did we say about this movie? It does its job.
It was pretty short.
It was short.
It's nice. It's a good summer movie.
I think the water effects looked too fake to me.
My one main critique is that the whole movie takes place in the basement of this house. And it all looks the same, and it feels.
It looks like the fucking Castlevania fucking long ass.
And it's like the biggest space.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't even the basement; it was the crawl space underneath the basement.
But like they spend the whole.
You gotta take a left over there. If you go turn right,
but it all looks the same. And how big is this place? Like I've never been to I've never been to Florida because I never want to die.
Yeah.
That you don't want to become Florida Man, right?
No, because I know I will become Florida Man the moment I get there.
Just consume the energies will just consume
that
you.
scene where she first gets to the house and is trying to find her dad, and she's just crawling around down there for like 5 minutes in this labyrinthian basement. It's like, what is happening?
And like it sucks because like the movie becomes more interesting once I get out of the basement. But like at that point,
it's almost over.
Like you know it's about to be over. Like that's like you know how at the Alamo like they're like, all right, last call. Like that's the last call.
Yeah. That's a fun thing about Alamo's. Like, I guess the movie's almost over.
Like quick spoiler for like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That happened. I was like, what do you mean it's almost over? But yeah. What happens in this movie? That's I don't know. It's Crawl. 2019.
It's an alligator movie. Like, so they have a house that is like right by the lake.
And by a gas station.
But also, like, there's an alligator farm not too far. Because it is a hurricane, there's so much rain. The alligators must have escaped through the rising water levels.
Well, it feels like the alligators made their home there for a while.
That's what... Because they had the nest.
Yeah.
So that was confusing.
Yeah, right?
So they would have escaped a while ago.
And, like, there was a lot of alligators outside their home. So it feels like it was a mix of like, oh, the alligators just running wild because like the hurricane, but also there was a nest in their home. Mm-hmm. So I guess maybe they're all congregating there or something, but I don't know. I don't want to dissect Crawl.
Yeah. Anyways, the dog and everyone makes it out, and then it ends in it's credits, and then see you later, alligator.
That's great.
That's so funny.
That's the most like we worked backwards. I want a movie to end with the song
yes.
"See You Later, Alligator."
No.
But
we gotta make a movie for that to get there. It's not as good as Piranha. I'll say that. I'll defend Piranha until the day.
It's not an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes movie. This is the most like sci-fi original movie.
It is.
Yeah, and like if you're into that, that's cool, I guess. But I don't know.
It doesn't do anything exceptional.
No.
It's not awful, but it just does its job. It's just very
It's the most I saw Crawl movie of 20 like when we do our best of 2019.
Most Crawl movie.
Most Crawl movie of 2019. Because I can't believe Crawl wasn't nominated for this category.
Goes to Power Rangers.
Goes to Midsommar, I guess.
Whoa.
That's Crawl. We saw it. Good work, everyone.
We did it.
We did it.
I'm happy we saw it.
Yeah, it was fine. I wish it was earlier, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So the next one, this was sort of a surprise for me personally. We're talking about The Art of Self-Defense next.
What do you mean surprise? We saw a trailer for this 18 times.
That's true. But it was surprising because I personally, George Cruz here, was a hater on this movie. I was like, this doesn't do anything for me. And I guess I should disclose that we were given free passes through Alamo for this movie. Mm-hmm. I saw the trailer and I was like, I get where you're going from, but it wasn't really clicking with me. And I think it's probably the funniest movie I've seen this year, personally.
I loved the trailers. When I first saw the first trailer, I was like, dude, because I love the fucking dry-ass humor.
Sure.
It's one of my favorite things. So I
guess it's just, I don't trust people to deliver on it until I'm in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I guess that's what Hollywood they were going for. So this is a movie where Jesse Eisenberg is... I guess this is the Jesse Eisenberg role of
the role he was born to play.
Like, what if Jesse Eisenberg lived the life of a guy that you think Jesse Eisenberg would? He's just...
What if we followed Jesse Eisenberg with a camera around for 2 weeks to see what happened?
Yeah, he's weak. He is
scared of other like people, especially men.
Doesn't like talking to people.
And he wants to defend himself after he got attacked.
Yes. He went to go find dog food for his dachshund.
Little puppy.
Yeah, great dog. Great dog.
You.
But he was attacked, and now he's like afraid. He's even more afraid to go outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he ends up taking a karate class.
Yes.
And his teacher is a little off, but
he respects him.
But he respects Jesse Eisenberg, and Jesse Eisenberg finally feels like he's found he's finally gaining confidence.
Yes.
And it's interesting to see where they take his character now that he has this newfound confidence. And that's what I like about it, especially. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I love the dry humor. Carrie, you mentioned this when we were driving back home, but there's a certain belt-related joke that it's like the funniest joke of all time. George, you know what I'm talking about, right? It is, yeah. It's so funny. It's so good. It's so... I can't even describe it.
Because it's sort of like...
so good. It's like he had this joke, and he worked backwards to make the joke.
And then he ended the movie on "See you later, alligator." Yeah. Like, what are you trying to be, crawl?
Right, because it's sort of like diminutive of the art of karate to make that joke. Because like, oh, you're a black belt, but also it's like, guys, it's just a belt. Like it's just a belt. But it's like, no, what if like we're a movie where these characters are committed to the bit, just die hard committed to the bit. Oh no,
and like it's a joke that like makes sense given like his character.
It's the whole movie, also, yes.
So it's such a good joke. I hate that I can't describe it because I want everyone to see this movie because it's so freaking good.
It's a very good movie.
But yeah, I loved it a lot. It's definitely one of my like top 5 of the year. I would say.
It also kind of goes where you think it goes from the trailer. You know, seedy underbelly. It's also a lot to do with like these sort of these sort of machismo that comes with like martial arts, like any combat sport, really. Like this character is that to the maximum. It's like, oh, you gotta listen to blah blah because it's manly, whatever the hell. We have Imogen Poots, who I can never pronounce her name right, and I'm not sure if I pronounced it.
It's
Imogen Poots.
That's how I would say.
Right,
it anyway.
She's the one female in the group of the Karate Taker. She teaches the kids.
She's the brown belt.
She's the brown belt, yeah, who should be the black belt, but she isn't. She won't be because she's a woman.
She's a woman, and she'll never be a man.
Yeah.
I realize the only thing stopping her from being a man is the fact that she's a woman. So she can never be a black belt.
Yeah, it's incredibly dark and it's very dry and punchlines hit very well. Yeah, I was very, very surprised with it. Yeah, it's I don't know what else there is to say about it.
I think it's a tad predictable, like where it goes. But like the payoff is really good, especially like the ending sequence, which like is so like I feel obvious, but it happens and you're like, that's amazing. I'm so happy I just saw this. It's so great. But yeah, I was a big fan.
It's also funny because like all of this shit happens, like all of it happens, but at the end of the day, it still comes back. Like, no, this is karate. This is fucking serious business. I was like, yeah, perfect. This is the best way to end this movie. It just ends as surreal as it starts. But yeah, that's The Art of Self-Defense. Highly recommend that one. Yes. Big surprise for me personally. Oh boy! So the next movie we gotta talk here is probably one of the biggest movies of the year. Probably one of the biggest Disney projects. Conceptually, when we look at the heart of Disney, and like in terms of project, we are remaking The Lion King with a live-action version of it. And I am the only person who saw this movie, huh?
I mean, we were bound to get a live-action Lion King. It's just, that's the circle of life, George.
So yeah,
and that's the Lion King.
So if you listened to this podcast before, we're not the most excited about these live-action remakes. Honestly, after watching this, I feel like maybe I should go watch Aladdin, because at least that probably has more character and energy. And at least it fucking casted people of color, and there's like at least some spirit to it. This is just... Man. Okay, let's put that back. Lion King. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's an animated motion picture that came out in 1993, I believe. Is it 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was way off, Ryan.
Damn, I am so sorry.
George, are you a big fan of the original Lion King?
I like it a lot. I think the music is the thing.
When you were a kid, though, were you like, this is my... Because a lot of people are like, The Lion King was like the film of their childhood.
I don't think it was mine.
Yeah, me neither.
It was good.
Because I had this argument with someone like, Ryan, you didn't love The Lion King? I was like, no, I saw it like first when I was like 12 because I watched anime as a kid. Like, I'm sorry that I liked
the studio audience has left the room because we
started talking about The Lion King 2019.
Yeah. Yeah, Carrie, what is your relationship to The Lion King, I guess?
I liked the animated movie well enough. I liked...
Great soundtrack. Hans Zimmer, Elton John.
I went to see the Broadway production of it in... like 6th grade.
That sounds more interesting than this.
Fucking loved that.
This sounds way more interesting.
If they would have done a live action movie where they were like in the Broadway garb, that would have been really cool.
Cats.
No, not Cats.
That's the problem with Cats, the new one. We won't get into it. Catch out in December.
But
we're gonna have a whole podcast of just us talking about the trailer for Cats.
My friend Chris, his podcast, We Are Rotten, literally did that.
They had
a whole
awesome.
episode just about the trailer. It was so funny. Go listen to the We Are Rotten podcast. They're very funny. But no, yeah. For as far as Lion King goes, the original animated movie wasn't so much a part of me growing up, but I really loved the Broadway version and a lot of the Broadway songs. I listened to those a lot more. So
are they different than the...
my favorite one from the Broadway is the He Lives in You reprise, and I don't think that song's in the animated movie. That He Lives in You.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's so good. Because there's the song where he's like, they live in you, where Mufasa's telling Simba that the gods and the stars live in him. Right. And then once Mufasa's dead, Rafiki sings to Simba and is like, look in the water, he lives in you. That's your reflection is Mufasa, you're him. It's fine, but it's a really fucking great song.
I want to add that song is from The Lion King 2, which is better than The Lion King.
Thank you, studio audience.
It's got the one emo lion, the cute lion.
Yes.
It's got the hot bad boy line.
Ooh. See, you know what? I did like Lion King too growing up. But in the Broadway musical, when I saw it, at least, I don't know if they've restaged it or anything, but it did... During He Lives in You, it does one of my favorite things a Broadway musical can do is when it has two characters at the front of the stage and everything else is dark and they're singing and then it gets really quiet and then the lights all go up and it's like, oh my god, there was actually 50 people on stage and they all start singing and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So I love that, but...
Okay. No, yeah, but I think that sounds more interesting to me because it's that you can definitely through Broadway play you can get the energy of something animated because Broadway is animated and it can be loud as it wants to be.
Yet somehow when you make a live action film,
it just doesn't. Yeah, when you take a very clinical approach to it. But yeah, I think The Lion King. I think I grew up to like it more when I was older because I think I realized how much people loved it and I was like maybe rewatch that. I think I do have better memories of 2 than I do of 1 honestly as a child. But that's probably because 2 came out on video when we were like probably like 8 or 9 or whatever the fuck.
Probably.
And I think Lion King came out literally when we were like fucking 1 years old. Right. Whatever the fuck. So yeah, I think I love Jeremy Irons as Scar. I know a lot of people think that this Scar is better and I forget his... He was in 12 Years a Slave and Doctor Strange.
I see his name there, but I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Exactly, that's the problem. But yeah, he was in Doctor Strange and 12 Years a Slave. And I think for what the goal of this is to be like, we're making a live action Lion King movie. It is incredibly like in terms of the culture we're doing of Africa and all of that. There's no way we can do Matthew Broderick as Simba. We just can't do it, guys. I'm sorry.
Some say we should have done it to begin with.
Yeah, some would say that.
Not me.
But anyways, I'm getting off track. Anyways, so I think the whole concept of remaking The Lion King in live action, I think a lot of these movies, is that it seems like a fool's errand because it's like you can't transition the amount of energy. And the music has already been done, and you're asking someone else to do a cover of songs, which is hard to do, which is possible. We've done it, like Broadway does it all the time. It's hard to do, and obviously these are so cherished things, whatever the hell.
Yeah. It winds up feeling like a jukebox musical, but it's the songs from the thing,
yeah.
So it's weird.
And this very much is what you expected it to be, and that's a shame, because when the movie starts off so incredible, and I thought, like, oh man, maybe I was completely wrong, because the beginning of The Lion King is the Circle of Life, but that scene is just animals getting to the thing, and that part looks incredible, because no one's singing, no one's talking, just cool CGI animals that look real as fuck, just going to this grand fucking thing, and it looks gorgeous, and it looks incredible. And when the Lion King has one of the best like title cards because it's just like, oh, boom, Lion King, bitch. That hits effective. And then once people start talking, it's just like
animals.
Yeah. It just feels
animals.
It feels weird. And the weirdest thing about it is that oh my god, what is his name? I just forgot it.
James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones is here again. And I think it's awesome that he's been able to reprise this role. That's wonderful. But it's also weird because he is the one constant. Mm-hmm. So not only are you comparing this to the old thing because it is Lion King, the live action thing, it is because it is being remade word for word, action by action, scene by scene with the same actor. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, man, you're doing great, James Earl Jones. You're doing fantastic. Love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Everyone else, what are we doing here, guys? Come on. We got to do a better job than this. And
you John Oliver.
Yeah. And you can do it scene by scene, moment by moment, because it has had the exact same scenes.
That's my problem with the idea of this and what I've heard about this, is because it's something that you can only enjoy if you've seen the first one.
Yes.
Like, I don't think a kid could see this.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't think a person could see the new Lion King.
That's the thing. The audience
and not be like, this is amazing.
The audience
there's a definitive better version of that.
The audience that walked out and no longer can defend themselves because they walked out. They made the good point that if you're a child watching this for the first time and not having that context, if the Lion King, the animated motion picture, did not exist, if the Lion King, the play, did not exist, and this was the only Lion King product, this would be fantastic, incredible. Yeah. Oh my God, what an incredible motion picture. But it's been done plenty of times better. And it's just like, this is probably, I personally think this is the most like, it just feels so off. I think one of the songs. So, man, you can't, Jeremy Irons is hard to replace. Oof. And this is, no offense, I cannot, I won't pronounce I will say Chiwetel, nope, not even gonna try.
You know who we're talking about.
Yes. They do a version to be prepared, but it's like 45 seconds long. Oh. And there is no shadow, there is no color, there is no...
I feel like Be Prepared is one of the most underrated villain songs.
It's so good!
Everyone shits on it. That song's fucking awesome.
It is amazing.
I love that song.
That is the song of like, yeah, this is Broadway. This is great.
I love the Broadway version. That's the one
that sounds great also.
It's fucking great.
Because it is the most over the top, the most like, villain. It's really good.
It's fantastic.
It's not fucking Toxic Love by Tim Curry and Fern Gully.
I mean, there are parts where Scar is talking,
you're right.
where he's just like, yes, quid pro quo.
Yeah.
Quid pro quo.
Right. There's no a shining new era is tiptoeing.
A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer.
Yeah, that's not here.
Teacher, just listen to teacher.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. And with that is like the new people who have been placed to, voice the characters. I think Donald Glover as Simba is an inspired choice and it works well, but the thing with The Lion King is that Simba's a child for most of that movie. Yeah. I almost say a good amount of that movie.
When I rewatched The Lion King this year, I forgot how little adult Simba is.
It is
that's who you think of when you think Lion King.
But it's not. It's like 30% of that movie.
Yeah,
it's mostly child Simba.
Yeah.
So Donald Glover is...
And that's like the same case with like Beyonce, who people were very excited about.
Yeah, Beyonce is a whole other thing in this movie. I'll get to it also. I don't even want to spend that much time. But the thing is, my point is, Donald Glover sounds like a perfect fit as Simba. And the Hakuna Matata version here is not as good. We have Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner playing Timon and Pumbaa. I think Seth Rogen is distractingly Seth Rogen. And that's no offense to him. It's just Seth Rogen. And I think Billy Eichner, people really like Billy Eichner.
I love Billy Eichner.
I love Billy Eichner, but...
I love Billy Eichner.
I love Billy Eichner, but I know a lot of people like Billy as Timon in this one. But to me, it just wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
I think also because he can't sing, so they don't make them sing. Like all those... Anyways, the point is, Hakuna Matata, once... It gets to the Donald Glover part once he gets old and he goes like, it means no worries. And you can hear the Donald Glover twang. And when he keeps those notes very long, I'm like, this is killer. But there's only one or two songs with that. And there's not a lot of, And
it's like the idea of like, we're going to get Donald Glover to play
Yes,
Simba.
Exactly. Boom, killed it.
But then it's like, they did that. It's like, Wait,
he's only
he'll be in the movie that much. Yeah,
And then there's Beyonce. So Beyonce is Nala in this movie. My problem with Beyonce in this movie is that Beyonce sounds much wiser and older than Simba in this movie.
Yeah.
And it felt like she should have been better casted as Simba's mother. It just does not work as Nala. Like, it just feels like she's talking to his mom.
Nala's not really in the original Lion King that much, right?
Not as much as Mufasa and Simba, but she's in it less in this one, I can tell you that much.
Could they not afford Beyonce that much?
Well,
doesn't she have a song?
Yes.
Because Nala doesn't have a song normally.
No,
right?
she has an exclusive. Beyonce made a song, but it's not sung as Nala. Okay. It's just sung like as a Beyonce track while Simba is making Back to the Pride Land. So that's when it's played. So it's not even. It's like, all right, whatever. That was so distracting to me. Like, Beyonce's great, but I think they made a bad call. Maybe not casting her, but casting her as Nala, because it just. If you're making a fan version, if like this is a Tumblr post, and if I was to like cast this, that's who I would cast. But it just doesn't work. No. And the scene where it leaked online, the part where Scar kills Mufasa and slaps him in the face.
Fucking Rick James punches him.
And then Simba does no is not very good. I personally think it's not. It still doesn't work in person, even if the shaky cam wasn't doing it a disservice. It's just not that good. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much other time dumping on this movie. When the best parts of this movie, it's where it just feels like a nature documentary. Honestly, if this was in a version of The Lion King with no talking, I think that would have been a much more interesting exercise.
The Lion King's cool, but what there's no talking or singing.
But if it was just the animals behaving, that would have been.
Just take out the Lion King audio and just take the audio from a David Attenborough Lion King
exactly.
And here you see the lions.
He wants to take his rightful place on the throne. Like, that would have been more interesting to me. And it's also weird because the thing with these remakes is, we talked about in the last episode, that it's like, we don't have to keep doing this because we've already seen these movies. And the thing with The Lion King is like, I know there's not going to be a surprise. I've seen this movie. Mm-hmm. If it's underwhelming now for like an hour in, the next 45 minutes, I know how this turns out, and I don't trust none. I know you guys can't do it.
If they change like something about The Lion King, to be like surprising, people are gonna hate it.
People are gonna hate it.
Yeah. So they have to make it exactly the same, and people will be like,
The one thing they expanded on
it's almost like they should have done it to begin with.
And the one thing they expanded on was how Rafiki the baboon? Mm-hmm. How Rafiki knows that Simba is alive.
Oh.
I haven't seen. Maybe I'm misremembering this, but was there a scene in the original movie where the fur of Simba travels through a dung beetle? It travels to a giraffe, and it travels like. No, I don't think so.
I thought he just split up in like a coconut.
Yes.
And was like, he's alive!
Yeah, so they filled in the gaps for that part.
Okay. And thank God. Because it made no sense before.
That's the part they filled in.
But then he found random lion here and be like, Simba.
Yeah, that's different. They changed that here. So I think Rafiki's a lot better
now
here.
I'm going to buy my ticket.
And also, a weird special effect is, so there's the part where Rafiki finds Simba, and he's all like, your dad is a great king. He's still alive, and he sees in the scars.
Remember who you are part?
Dude, that scene, I don't know how they did it wrong. I can't see Mufasa's face, and I haven't been the only person like.
He
those are just clouds.
He doesn't appear in the sky.
It's not obvious. It's not. It's like that. Kind of looks like. It kind of looks like Mufasa.
What?
It's like a weird. Like, how did you?
Oh no!
I thought it was just me. I was like, no, It was.
Simba's just looking at the sky like, huh?
It was very.
What was that? And then like an arrow, like a pointer comes out and like drags the Mufasa PNG like. Simba.
It looked
like one of those red circles. It's like here. It's right
here. Yes, exactly. It was very confusing.
Here is the word sex in the clouds.
There's a penis in the castle.
Also, John Oliver is.
John Oliver.
Yeah. He's fine. He's John Oliver, and it works. It's whatever.
It's another one of my favorite songs from the Broadway one is The Morning Report.
So I was gonna ask you, did they add a Morning Report to the?
They did.
No, they didn't.
Oh.
But I was asking you if they added Morning Report to the Broadway because they did. It's not in the original cut of Lion King.
No, yeah, I love that song. Okay. It's a good song.
I'm
anyways,
so glad Disney remade Kimba the White Lion a second time.
Yeah. I like how everyone's fucking figuring out about Kimba now.
Yeah,
like,
now
that call out culture is a thing. And it's like, you know what? I remember.
No one's gonna care now.
I remember Kimba the Lion trailers on my VHS copies of Dragon Ball.
Really?
Yes, I do. Pioneer.
Nice.
Kimba the White Lion. Anyways, that's the Lion King. No surprises here. It is
what it was.
My
My favorite Kimba thing is there's an interview with Matthew Brock being like, dude, Disney's gonna make their version of Kimba, and I'm so excited to be in it.
Oh, I haven't seen.
He just says it.
Oh, I haven't seen.
I loved Kimba as a kid. I'm so excited to play Kimba in the American version. And then he was like, yeah, it's a big coincidence, I guess. It's really funny. Anyways.
Oh, right. I was gonna say. Can we have a quick aside? So since then, the Mulan trailer dropped.
I haven't watched the trailer
So,
yet.
and I was the one, I felt like if there's one thing we can do right, I would like to see a Mulan live action, because that's not, when I think, the story of Mulan doesn't necessarily have to be Disney's. Like, there have been other Mulan movies made by Japanese studios, nothing to do with the Disney property. And like, there's just a story about a warrior woman. That's all it's about. You haven't seen it, you said, Carrie?
I haven't seen the trailer.
There's no cricket, there's no Eddie Murphy, there's no
It
songs.
just feels like Mulan.
I did hear about that.
Which is disappointing, but at the same time,
It'll at least
be your
something
own thing.
interesting.
Yes, be your own fucking thing. That's more. An interpretation is much better than a shot for shot.
Yes.
Because you're not going to do Make a Man a Review and make it better.
Such a good song.
So unless you get, I don't even know who they cast. I don't even know. Is a love interest even in this one? I don't even know about.
Mulan?
Yeah.
No, I think it's very.
I would have cast the guy from Crazy Rich Asians and the guy from what's that movie? A Simple Favor.
Simple Favor.
Yes, he's in that as well.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's in that as well. He's a very handsome man.
He's very handsome.
Anyways, Quentin Tarantino.
Woo!
He made another one, the 9th one I've heard.
People keep telling me.
People keep telling me he has made many films, and this is the 9th of
But
those.
no
films.
more than 9.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. So he at one point he said no more than 8, but here we are.
I
But
think
then everyone didn't like Hateful Eight, and he's like,
Yikes.
now he's saying I'm going to do 10. I believe. He's like, I'm going to do 10 movies. And
You mean he's gonna make one more, not 10 more?
No, he's gonna have 10 movies. He's gonna have 10 movies in total.
Okay.
Depending on if he counts Kill Bill 1 and 2 as.
That's one movie. It's one movie.
So I guess his last one would be his Star Trek movie, right?
Oh, is he doing that?
yeah.
It's back on.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be so stupid.
Yeah, that's
Once
gonna be a
upon
bummer.
a time in more like Hollywood, because it's such a crazy place. Am I right?
So I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but we were very much like, I am tired of seeing this fucking trailer for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said that on the podcast, but I think it was the Quentin Tarantino's good. It's very good. I like Kill Bill a whole lot, and Pulp Fiction's pretty good. And Death Proof is very good also.
I like Hateful Eight the most.
You do.
Fight me. I like Hateful Eight.
That's probably because you're a big fan of the whodunit genre.
Yeah, I have been informed by several people that I'm probably biased.
Yeah.
Hateful Eight is my favorite, followed by Inglourious Bastards.
I haven't seen
I've
that.
only seen Hateful Eight and Glorious Bastards.
Well, there you go.
And
That's all
I've
you
seen
need.
the first third of Pulp Fiction, and I cannot finish it.
But the point being is that I have lost the sort of fascination with him being one of the auteurs of motion picture of our, like, being alive currently.
Mm-hmm.
Him being this, like, the guy of cinema and film. I kind of, that kind of lost its, I don't know, it just, whatever. So when I saw these trailers for this movie, I was like, it just looks like a Quentin Tarantino movie. I don't fucking know. But I think for me, I guess how I feel about it, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, but back to his old style. In that it's not very loud and, until the end of the movie.
Right.
It's not very loud and pronounced, and it's just a movie.
It is pretty tame.
It is very tame, and it's just a movie. I'm like, oh, this is good. And who he has in terms of Leonardo DiCaprio, specifically Leonardo DiCaprio, and the character he plays, which is a broken down man with no self-esteem, falling apart, is a very different fucking role for Leonardo DiCaprio, and it was really interesting. Yeah, I liked it a whole fucking lot, and I was shocked how much I liked it. I think I was disappointed with how. So watching that interview, like at Cannes, where he got called out, that interviewer, the journalist called out, like Margot Robbie's character was kind of just there, and Margot Robbie was like, "Oh, well, you know, here's how I took the character and what I did with it," and I forgot what dumb comment Quentin Tarantino.
He's like, "Your hypothesis is wrong."
Yeah, something like yeah. I think she is. They do not do anything. It is a bummer. It is a real bummer. Like honestly, that question is now that I've seen the movie. That question isn't that unfair. It's pretty valid, honestly. Like this feels like the most like base Margot Robbie role. Yeah. This is like if you had met. This feels like if someone wanted to typecast you immediately after Wolf of Wall Street. This movie. That's what this feels like.
She was just told to stand there and look pretty.
You are an incredibly pretty woman. Here you go, and that's a bummer. And I don't know how you do a Sharon Tate character. I don't know much about it. I didn't even know she was in Valley of the Dolls. I haven't seen Valley of the Dolls. I want to see Valley of the Dolls. Same. But yeah, I think it looks really pretty. I don't think, in terms of Quentin Tarantino movies and like shots that I remember vividly, this doesn't have a lot of them, but it still looks pretty.
Yeah. I don't think I liked it as much as I wanted to, just because of the strong reaction I've had to most of his movies that I've watched. And I don't know, it just felt a little long for me. For most of it, I found myself being bored a lot.
Especially in retrospect, not knowing the story and where we get to. It's like, we didn't need this.
It took it took its fucking time. And I think it knew it was taking its time, and it was just trying to toy with the audience, maybe.
Yeah, very much. It felt very,
But there was a solid 5 minutes in there where I was like, damn, this movie's fucking awesome. And then the rest of it, I could take or leave. But I did really like... This movie made me, like, care about Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio a little more, which I didn't think I could do, because I really liked their relationship, and I liked how they played off each other.
And they kind of had... The movie is just them, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it had to work. And a lot of times, it's not them together, really. It's them separate. Ryan, how'd you feel about it?
I'd like to first remind everyone that if you have rated this podcast 5 stars on iTunes, you cannot go back and rate 1 stars based off Ryan's personal opinions on Quentin Tarantino's ninth film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Thank you.
Please rate this podcast 5 stars, recommend it to your friends, and you cannot take anything back, but I fucking hated this fucking movie. This movie fucking sucks. I genuinely don't understand people's enjoyment of this. It sucks. It just sucks. Nothing happens. Not a single thing occurs in this movie. Every bit of character development that is meaningful happens within the first 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes of, if you cut out the driving sequences, 10 minutes of actual things occurring in the movie. Like, he gets his flamethrower. That's important, I guess. You find out that his bodyguard can beat up Bruce Lee. And you find out that Sharon Tate is a woman who's very pretty. That's all you need to know to understand this movie.
Sure.
Once the only arc that actually occurs is Leonardo DiCaprio. He becomes sad and then becomes a little less sad. That's very important because he's a little less sad.
He's still an asshole, though.
Oh, no. Everyone's still an asshole. And then nothing happens. And then the movie toys with the idea of, like, the big thing happening, you know, the Manson murders, the big thing happening.
They even lead up to, like, here's time by time.
Yeah, and it very much, you know, the trailers lead up to that. The movie flat out tells you, like, we're getting to it, and then the movie gets to it, and then I'm supposed to be surprised of what Quentin Tarantino does with it. When I've seen Inglourious Basterds, I know how he subverts expectations with movies. And then he subverts it, and it sucks. It sucks. Like it's funny because the last 10 minutes.
It's good in the context of it existing. Maybe not great. Are you saying like in the context of a 2-hour and 45-minute movie that is only 20 minutes shorter than the entirety of Grindhouse? By the way, it's only 20 minutes shorter than Grindhouse.
Yes, it's like you make this 3-hour movie, and what 4 minutes of it is watchable? What do you mean
watchable? But
because I hate...
Maybe entertaining is...
No, because I never liked Leonardo DiCaprio's character.
Fair enough.
He's sad and he just needs to get over himself.
We're talking about the character, not Leonardo DiCaprio
right.
himself.
Leonardo DiCaprio, asshole, saving the earth. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Brad Pitt, like, he just felt like this indestructible object. with no real characterization. He's just this force who cannot be stopped. And no matter what he does throughout the film, no one even phases him, and he doesn't have any like genuine like change or even development in his character in any way. Not even like he's like, oh, I found I don't like spaghetti works. Nothing happens that like changes his opinion on anything or anything interesting. And you could cut out Sharon Tate from the movie, and nothing would have been affected.
I mean, the whole
in the movie.
I would say like the whole movie hinges on the concept of that. But you're right, as a character, you could have just said like, oh, we're living next to Sharon Tate. She's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead,
hope nothing weird happens in the next 6 months.
Instead, there's like 30 minutes of her watching her own movie, and you being like, generally like, oh man, this is gonna suck when she fucking dies later, because it's Sharon Tate. Mm-hmm. I fucking hate this movie. I hate it. God, it's such a fucking like stroking of your own dick. God.
I don't think it's as much, but
it's not as much as it could have
not
been.
as much as for Quentin
Well,
Tarantino.
the fact that like he tricked people into watching 3 hours of nothing
maybe
happening.
That being the thing, because he very much feels like the end bit is the most like what we know of Quentin Tarantino from the last few years.
Yeah.
And he knows that like I'm leading you along for this bit, and here it is, bam, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. Mm-hmm. Go home. We're done here. Because it very much feels that way.
Right.
But I don't know. I think there are moments that are entertaining, but at the same time, it does feel superfluous. Like none of the movie, like,
well, like the stuff that like, because I could feel the audience enjoying it, and I'm not gonna shit on an audience enjoying a movie, but like everything that everyone else around me like was laughing at, I felt so disconnected from because I never liked the characters. I was never invested in Brad Pitt, especially just because he didn't feel like a character, just felt like a force that couldn't be stopped.
That whole part with the ranch didn't do anything.
That was weird.
That was a weird part.
And I didn't need Lena Dunham in this movie either.
Oh wow, yeah. Shout out to oh my god, fuck, I can't believe I just forgot his name. Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Oh yeah.
For 1 second.
Yeah, she
in this movie from Stranger
Mrs.
Things.
Stranger Things was in this movie for 1 second. And it was great.
I love the thing that was like, no, there was no nepotism in her getting involved in this movie at all. It was like, oh, Uma Thurman's daughter? She didn't have any help getting into the Quentin Tarantino movie? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated this. I hated this so much. It was so boring. Even like when the action stuff happened, like in the end, I didn't care. Like it got no reaction out of me.
This made me think of Bone Tomahawk and Brawl in Cell Block 99, wherein it's a long movie and you really don't have to watch the first hour. You just gotta watch the last like 20 minutes. If you're not invested, you could just watch the last 20 minutes on its own and be like, holy shit, that was awesome.
I will also say like this is a movie that I think like Ryan said, like it is mostly just at the very least kind of nothing happens. Really. Nothing really happens. And I would be very annoyed to read an essay, someone telling me how good the nothing happens is.
Right.
Because that's obnoxious. Because like I like it fine. I don't know if I'd rewatch it. It's fine. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's good. Yeah.
No, because I think you can make like an argument that a movie where nothing happens. I think really cool, interesting critiques can come from that. I just don't.
But when you know that someone is writing about a Quentin Tarantino movie, that could skew your writing. Of course, there are good writers in the world that could maybe, but it's also easy to fall.
Be honest about it.
But yeah, I don't know.
But yeah,
it's a thing.
Remember, 5 stars. You locked in that rating.
I think I liked it more than Hateful Eight, though.
I can't agree with anything you're doing right now. Why do people hate that movie?
Tell me. I just feel like I feel like Ryan.
Tell me why.
I feel like Ryan. I'm like, that movie happened when I saw it.
That movie's so good.
I need to rewatch it, but I very much was like, that happened. I guess.
haven't watched the extended version on Netflix, the episodic extended version yet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They put it on Netflix and they added like a half an hour to it and they split it into 4 episodes. It was like,
weird.
Yeah. But watch The Hateful Eight.
Okay, that's all I said. Yeah, I'm glad that Margot Robbie got her bag. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. I don't know.
Could have been more Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Could have been more Zoe Bell, but.
Oh yeah, she was in that movie.
Could have been more. Who was cut?
Tim Roth.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
the part. In the credits, Tim Roth's
Tim
name
Roth,
is
cut.
like Tim Roth parentheses cut. Why is he in the credits?
You've got a fucking 3-hour-long
He's
movie.
like an
and you couldn't give Tim
He's
Roth
like an
10
executive
seconds.
producer in that too. He's an
Poor
executive
Tim Roth.
That's
producer.
ridiculous.
Poor
Like just
Tim Roth.
cut to him and be like, what?
I love Tim Roth. He's so great.
That was funny. Yeah, it's a weird thing. A weird thing. Especially strange that I don't know. This is the first movie by Quentin Tarantino that's not Weinstein produced.
True.
So
Him and his boy Weinstein.
Yeah.
Didn't he defend him at first?
yeah.
Oh man,
Yikes.
That's part of the thing that lost his lust. I was like,
Yeah.
he's maybe just Anyways, that's that. It's fine. It's actually I like it more than Ryan, but you know.
I think we have a clean scale here. You like it the most. I like it, and Ryan hates it.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
August will be the last month of summer, and we got some stuff here. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. I like the title. I wish I could feel good about the Fast and Furious. I'm sad that I'm not excited about this movie.
The ninth film. Wait, is the ninth film in the franchise?
It's not canonically 9, but
The 9th film from the Fast
it is a
and Furious.
spin-off. In Fast
I
and
can't believe
Furious,
they made 8 movies and they're like, now we're gonna make a spin-off.
yeah, that's true, right?
That's fun.
Because Tokyo Drift is canon. It is the most important one. The way that they could fix this all for me, it is the easiest way to fix it. Han is alive. Just put Han. Han is alive. Just bring him back to the dead. You did it with Michelle Rodriguez. Just bring him back to the dead. Bring him back to the dead, and everything's forgiven for me. Everything's forgiven. But as we are
Why'd they bring
now,
his car back from the dead. But he's
nope,
still-
not good enough.
I don't understand. How
Bring
this
back
works.
who's Wonder Woman? Who's the actress?
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. Bring Gal Gadot back. She's like, oh, Han, I got a phone call from Han. He's alive, actually. I don't know. Yeah, and 8 was a bummer. 8 was a fucking bummer. So
Did not enjoy that movie.
I like that.
That's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
So I was just like, whoa.
No, I walked out of that movie very negative. I think we need new blood in the series too. They need to add more people. I know John Cena. They're adding John Cena. I wouldn't add John Cena.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not what I need. He's good in Bumblebee. He's fine in Bumblebee.
Yeah.
But I'm not who I would have added. Like, we're just adding wrestlers. Fucking Roman Reigns is in this one. The Rock has been in this one.
They know what they're doing.
Fucking. You should have added Becky Lynch. Add Becky Lynch to the. Add Becky Lynch.
But Dave Bautista's not in it?
No.
Yeah, he does good movies, Ryan.
Right, he's an artist. I think that's what he said for this one, right?
Yeah,
He's like, no. I was like, no, that's cool.
I have to do Stuber, please.
Please, yeah. Add Becky Lynch to Fast and Furious. Isn't fucking, oh my god, who's her name? That was the big reveal of 8. That the
Becky Lynch was in it?
no, that the mom of Decker is
wait.
Card?
what's her name? Helen Mirren.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah. Helen Mirren is the mother of the guy from Dracula Untold and Jason Statham, because he's dead. Anyways,
What?
I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. I want to be excited about a Fast and Furious movie. Anyways, The Nightingale.
This is
This is the new movie from the director of the Babadook.
Yes, right.
It looks great, and it's got Sam Claflin in it, and that's a nice looking boy.
Yeah.
He's Finnick from the Hunger Games. If anyone doesn't remember.
You ever think about
Catching
how
Fire.
old the Hunger Games is? You ever think about that? Because I was thinking about that recently. I was like,
Well,
man,
the books came out in like 2008, 2007, didn't they?
those are like peak like
well, 2008. That's a decade ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Ugh.
Anyways,
And they're still just as good. They're great. Great movies. Are we excited about the prequel that's coming out?
No.
Suzanne Collins is writing a prequel. We all know how well prequels go.
Carrie, I can't tell if you're trying to lie to yourself or
the
being
Hunger Games, The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Catching Fire was a good movie.
Catching Fire
It was
is
a fantastic movie. Probably the best. Like of
It is the best
of
of
the
the four.
pitch of you told me the story and this character in this world. That was the best possible
good.
execution
It's
of it.
so good.
And it's gorgeous. Also, it's well shot.
Yes.
It's a good movie. Anyways, this was on our last list for this month, but it's not playing here yet. So we're putting. Well, I'm assuming we'll watch The Farewell.
I want to.
I really want to
August?
as
It looks
well.
fantastic.
It's got Aquafina. Yeah.
It has a dog.
It has a dog.
I see A24 promoting this dog, and I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Apparently,
you're not showing the movie anywhere.
Speaking of which, I didn't know A24 was involved with Euphoria. I didn't know that. That's one of their first TV shows. So there you go.
So maybe I will watch it.
I mean, they also didn't they put out Assassination Nation?
Or was that was Neil.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's the same. The director of Assassination is the showrunner for Euphoria, which is what makes it be like.
He's like director, writer, and
yeah,
and producer is Drake in Future.
Oh,
I love Euphoria. Anyways, so we'll see the farewell. I should listen to that podcast episode. The Art of Racing in the Rain. I'm not familiar with this.
This is another one of those old man is the voice of a dog movies.
Oh, right.
This time it's Kevin Costner. And he's a puppy that gets adopted by a NASCAR racer who falls in love with Amanda Seyfried. And then
Amanda Seyfried? Ooh, if I haven't heard that name in a minute. And then the dog
grows up. What? First Reformed?
Letters from Juliet. Amanda Seyfried. Maybe I think of something else.
First Reformed. Yeah, no, that's her.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, she was.
Mamma Mia!
She was in First Reformed. Wow, I forgot. Sorry.
But yeah, no, I was seeing, I think it was when I went to see Rocket Man with my mom. They played a trailer for this. It's really good.
I'm bummed out to see
that. And they played a trailer for this, and my mom was like, oh, I'm not seeing that. The dog's definitely going to die. And I was like, well, you don't know that the dog's going to die. And then it's like, from the producers of Marley and Me. And I was like,
yikes. Maybe.
From the visionary directors of Marley and Me.
From every single person who brought you Marley and Me.
What is The Kitchen?
That's the one with Melissa McCarthy and Elizabeth Moss.
Yes, I am so excited for this.
Henson.
Yes, I want to see this.
Looks good.
It looks like it's gonna bomb, but I'm excited about it.
It's like this year's Widows.
Yes, but
except it's about the Irish mafia.
But it looks cool. I'm excited about that. Okay, cool.
And I am giving Melissa McCarthy another chance because she was really good in Can You Ever Forgive Me? Because I watched that and that movie was awesome and she was really good in that. So I think
I'm excited for The Kitchen.
Yes.
Also, I think DC shut down Vertigo, so. Well, because this is a DC Vertigo movie. Anyways, Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Huh.
I want to see Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
You want to?
I want to see it.
I want to see it too. It looks ridiculous.
But, like, is it supposed to be?
I mean, the trailer had the bit. I don't know if you guys saw the newest trailer where it has the bit where they're sitting at the table.
Yeah, and she's like,
can you say ba-ba-da-ba-da?
And then he's like, she just does that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I was like, okay, so they get it. Cool, they get it.
But like, if you're not doing that, then how is this a Dora movie?
What do you mean?
Like, if it's not like that.
Oh, if it's not her looking at the camera being like, do you see the bar?
But they clearly get it. It seems like it's like it's like all grown up Dora.
It's still like a PG Nickelodeon movie.
Sure. I mean, all grown up, the TV show wasn't them fucking and shit.
Well, what's wrong? Fucking Rugrats all grown up. Tommy tries weed. Oh
no. Yeah.
Dill Pickle has a yeast infection.
Thank you for building on my bit so effortlessly. Like
this time Tommy actually gives Phil to a bunch of monkeys. I've been thinking about that recently.
All grown up.
No, about how Tommy almost killed his little brother.
You had this fucking baby toy and he was gonna fucking do it.
Oh man, that's
awesome. It was a bottle of banana.
That's right. Yeah.
And monkeys like nanners. Anyways, I want to see Dora the Explorer because they are not ignoring the fact that, listen, Dora the Explorer was a show that at its heart we made it to teach kids Spanish, but it is Latino. We can't erase that. So we're hiring Eduardo to make. I don't like his sense of humor always, but he's probably one of the biggest comedy stars, Latino comedy stars. So he's in it. I'm glad he's getting a paycheck. Culturally, I respect how far they're going to the bit, and I want to see it because of that. That's pretty much it, really. And also the fact that like they actually got Swiper the Fox in it. There's a fox named Swiper. He's got a bandana. There is a monkey in her backpack. So, I think they realize how ridiculous the concept of it is. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, scary stories to tell in the dark. I feel like we're gonna be disappointed by this one.
Probably, but it looks awesome.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe it.
It's gonna probably be as good as Goosebumps 20.
It'll be a little
I like
edgier
Goosebumps.
than Goosebumps.
I like Goosebumps.
Yeah, Goosebumps was alright. So this will at least be more visually
I don't think anyone saw a
interesting.
sequel though.
No.
No one cares.
I saw it's on Netflix, and we were scrolling through it, and they played the little clip trailers on when you stop on a thing, and it was there was a red balloon floating down the street or something, or it came out of the sewer, and Jack Black was like, I knew it! I thought of that first! It's like, well, I bet that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, that's probably it. But I hope it's good, and I'm excited that it is coming so soon, so I just know now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blinded by the Light. I've seen posters for this. I don't think I've seen the trailer for this.
A guy who is Pakistani, I believe, and he learns how to accept himself and love himself through listening to the music of Bruce Springsteen.
That sounds like, I knew there was like a Bruce Springsteen connection there. Okay, well, all right. Angry Birds 2 in August.
Angry Birds movie 2.
Yeah.
In August.
Yes.
I think this is gonna do bad.
What do you mean you think?
How could a movie that's the follow-up to a touchstone of cinema, like the Angry Bird movie, possibly
wasn't bad? I don't know what you're talking about.
Culturally though, Angry Birds was already kind of done.
Oh,
now
yeah,
they are
sure.
fucking done.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are we doing
now
this?
it's like the movie is the thing. No one plays the game anymore.
Oh,
They're like,
true, man.
the movie was good.
I don't think. And it was like, the movie was really good.
It was all right.
Yeah,
but I was looking at the
all
cast.
right.
I was looking at the cast for this movie, and there's a lot of YouTubers in it, and I was like Jojo Siwa and David Dobrik and Colleen Ballinger, and I was like, oh my, aka Miranda Sings.
Oh.
And Jojo Siwa, the Jojo Bo's girl from Dance Moms, you know, the blonde girl.
I guess that makes sense.
Look at the Jojo. She talks really fast and she's obnoxious. Her makeup products that were being sold in Claire's had asbestos in them.
And now she's in the Angry Birds movie too.
That's fun. What is Good Boys? I don't know any of these movies.
That's the trailer I'm fucking tired of. It's the one with the kid from Room, and it's the three boys, and
it's super bad, but they're younger.
It's funny because they're children saying fuck.
No,
much like the other Seth Rogen film where it was funny because it was a hot dog saying fuck.
That's exactly the energy that I was feeling from that movie.
You see, maybe if I didn't see Booksmart this year, I'd be a little interested.
And they had the fucking same song in the trailer, too.
Oh, yeah, that's what's so weird.
They re-released Booksmart for a little bit there.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm. It comes out on digital and Blu-ray in August.
Woohoo!
Did that movie do well?
Did Booksmart do well?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Because Annapurna's hanging by a thread, I guess.
Well, it came out like in a busy... It came out the same day as Aladdin. So...
At this point, I'm just expecting Annapurna to be a video game publisher.
Well, you know what?
47 Meters Down, Uncaged. They made another 47 Meters Down movie.
Apparently.
Why didn't they make another Shark Night movie? I don't know.
Why didn't they make another Shallows?
In my mind, Shallows is better than I think it is, but that might be just because it was Blake Lively?
Blake Lively, yeah.
I was like, I think it's just because Blake Lively was very pretty.
Thinking of Steven Seagal, her seagull friend, who she named Steven Seagal.
Right. I think I just remember fond memories of that movie because that Sia song was very ridiculous.
The fucking bird set free over the credits.
Yes.
That was another funny credits bit.
Yeah.
Bird set free, and I was like, oh, Steven Seagal's free.
And the camera was like up her butt the entire movie.
Yeah.
That was a thing. Anyways, Ready or Not. Oh, that movie! I'm excited.
Hilarious.
Yeah, this is the one about the she gets married to like some game
board game
dynasty
Hasbro ass.
Yeah. And it turns out they get married, and then at their like dinner ceremony, it's like, "Oh, we're gonna play the game." And we have to play
the final ceremony of the night before she's final, like a concrete member. Of
we're gonna play hide and seek, but it's deadly.
The rules are crazy.
Yeah.
It looks like it's almost gonna be Cabin in the Woods because there's a line in there about how she's a sacrifice, and it's like, what's gonna happen if she doesn't get sacrificed?
Oh, I need to rewatch Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it multiple times in this podcast. I've asked you, has that movie aged well? But
I haven't rewatched it in the last 2 years.
I haven't watched it in a lot of years.
It's been a while for me too.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Hopefully.
I think so.
Anyway.
I mean, it was written by Josh Whedon, so Whedon. So that's.
But it was directed by the guy who did Daredevil. Drew Goddard. Yeah.
Drew Goddard.
You mean the guy who did Bad Times at the El Royale?
That's what I think.
That's
what I think of. It's a shame that happened to him.
Excuse me?
Financially, I mean.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what's August. There's some stuff here that I'm interested. I'm interested to see how Scary Stories comes. I'm just glad it exists. Honestly, I'm happy it exists.
I found one of my Scary Stories books, so I'll reread that.
Cool.
So I was like, I know I had these books. And my mom was like, I don't remember those at all. And I was like, Mom, no, we had these. And then I went in my room and I found it. And I came out and I was like, ha! She's like, oh.
Good, you proved me wrong.
Great.
What do you expect?
And I threw it at her and I ran down the stairs. And I said, fuck you, Mom.
Damn. Well, folks, that's another episode. If you listened to this episode and enjoyed it, it would mean a lot if you rate and review us on the iTunes and give us 5 stars, or just let us know. Tell Ryan how he's wrong about Once Upon a Time.
Oh, please.
Yeah, that sounds.
I encourage it.
Ryan, where can people find you?
On the internet.
Oh, you don't want to throw your ad out?
At car
at car_E Lyles LYMETTBDS.
You don't know what my name is, do you?
Jerry Kyles?
I had another guy at work today, another customer, call me Kari. And I was like, Kari? What? Because that's why my Twitter name is like that. Because people, for some reason, since my name is spelled with a K instead of a C.
You can send it to at Nick_is_online_.
Yeah, there we go. That's the one. That's my at.
It's private anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Or at Mr. Pip Official if you would actually follow me.
Or my actual Twitter at is KAR_E Lyles LYLES.
And you can find me at JCruzAlvarez26. Until next time, we will see you then.
Bye.